show me.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for our Global Internship Program Political Science Info Session. My name is Ana Arellano, and I'm the coordinator here at UCLA for the Global Internship Program, and I am also the advisor for our political science track. I hope that video got you all pumped up to learn a little bit more about our programs. It surely got me pumped up to explain to you all a bit about what we offer here at UCLA. So for today's agenda, it's a very short and sweet info session, no longer than 30 minutes. We're going to explain a little bit about why you may be interested in interning abroad, why it may be a good opportunity for you all this coming summer, speak a little bit about our program, including available career sectors and locations where you may intern. We'll very briefly touch upon the application, selection, and placement process, as well as touching upon some funding options and our upcoming info sessions. We will have some allocated time at the end for a Q&A. If you have any questions throughout the session, please feel free to enter them into the chat. We'll also have an opportunity for you to unmute and ask your questions out loud if you would like to do so, again, at the end of the presentation. So with that said, let's begin on why you may be interested in interning abroad. We've heard of study abroad, we've heard about domestic internships. So what's so special about an international internship? So I'll go ahead and give you 5 reasons. The first and foremost is that you are gaining a competitive advantage in the job market. When you are studying abroad, you already stand out as an applicant for respective organizations, having learn to be in a different culture, different customs, open perspectives. So when you are adding a job on top of that, there's a lot of new skills that you need to learn. There's a lot of new ways to communicate effectively with supervisor, with colleagues. So all of that on top really puts you an advantage in the job market. They want to know not only do you have that study abroad experience, but you have that work experience. So collaboratively, it's a really great way to make you stand out, to add that onto your resume, and today's job market to really, again, just stand out compared to other applicants for that respective position. It goes without saying, on this program, you will be interning in a respective internship in your career field of interest. You are gaining technical skills. If you're interested in law, for example, you could have placements where you're looking into research, you're looking into policy, actually working with government officials. So really great opportunities for you to improve on those technical skills. Similarly, you'll have an opportunity to strengthen your soft skills. So communication, you will be working again with supervisors from a different culture. So that means they work differently. The way they communicate could be differently. Same thing with your colleagues. So it's a really great way to demonstrate how to adapt to new situations, both academically and professionally. On this program, you will be partnered with an international organization or company. So you are expanding your global network. You have those connections to build off of. There could be occasions where the organization that you are interning for have sister companies or partner companies here in the United States or different locations. So that's one great way to expand your global network. On this program, you will also be traveling with fellow UCLA peers, and there also could be an opportunity to meet other students that are also interning in that location from different universities. So another great way to expand that global network and keep those connections after your internship culminates. Lastly, this is a UCLA program. We understand that summer sessions is not an essential term. So we want to make sure that you are making progress towards your degree while still earning that academic advancement. So with that said, all of our programs do guarantee units, and we'll go ahead and address that a little bit shortly. So now, what is the Global Internship Program? At a glance, this is a summer-only program. It ranges from mid-June to mid-August. The dates slightly range depending on the location that you decide to pursue, but you can generally expect it to happen during summer session 810 that takes place here at UCLA. The entire program is 10 weeks. Throughout this entire 10 weeks, students will be conducting an online internship course, and this is what you would grant you credit here at UCLA. And this course specifically for the poli-sci track will be the Political Science 195 CE course. And I'll speak about the courses a little bit more shortly. So again, the program is 10 weeks. Of those 10 weeks, for 8 of those weeks, students will be conducting their on-site internship. This internship is for academic credit only, and it is not paid. If you decide to pursue an in-country internship, meaning you wish to travel to your respective location, you are expected to intern 32 hours per week. That's 4 out of 5 days for the work week. And you are given one day off to purposely focus on that respective coursework. If you decide to pursue our virtual internship opportunities, you are expected to intern 20 to 30 hours per week, also giving you sufficient time to focus on your respective coursework. So on this program, students are required to enroll in Poli-Sci 185 CE. Again, mandatory course. This is what grants students 4 upper division units for participation on the program. If you are a political science major, this internship course can fulfill one upper division elective course requirement, and that direct transfer credit is granted on this program. We do have an optional CSC 130 course, which can grant students an additional 4 units for a total of 8 units for this program. The CSC 130 course is a really great way to complement your internship. It dives into your communication skills and based on how you can currently communicate, how you could effectively communicate with your supervisors, with your colleagues. So it's a really great way to complement your internship. This is an optional course, so you are not required to enroll in it. However, again, it does provide the additional 4 units. If you are interested in receiving UCLA financial aid, you must be enrolled in a total of 8 units for the program. So selecting to enroll in our optional CSC 130 course is a great way to be eligible for financial aid. For eligibility, even though this is a political science track, it is open to all UCLA majors and all UCLA minors. So you do not necessarily need to be a poli-sci major or minor in order to participate on this program. However, you are required to have a 3.0 cumulative UC GPA, 90 units by the start of summer 2026, and be in good academic standing. So for our first year students who are interested in participating in the program, you do not yet have an established GPA, and that is okay. Go ahead and submit your application. We will do a preliminary eligibility check, which means that in January, prior to decisions being released, we'll conduct a second eligibility check, checking for your fall GPA, making sure it meets that 3.0 requirement. Similarly, for the 90 units, we do accept any credit that UCLA has transferred or received as transfer credit on your record. So as long as you have 90 units that are indicated on your DARS, for example, that could include AP credit that UCLA accepted. It could be community courses that the UCLA accepted. Anything that's on your UCLA record, that would qualify. Again, it just has to be on your UCLA record as accepted credit. So within the political science track, we quite honestly have a plethora of locations and career sectors that you can participate for an internship. Locations include Bali in Indonesia, we have Bogota in Colombia, we have Cape Town in South Africa, we have Singapore. So again, a lot of great locations. They all offer unique perspectives, both in living and internship placements. The career sectors that you see on screen, these are all the career sectors that we have available within the poli-sci track. That includes advocacy groups, human rights, social justice, government agencies, law placements, NGOs and nonprofits, social work, strategy and consulting, and sustainability. One thing I want to make a quick note is that although we offer all these career sectors within the political science track, not all these career sectors are located in each of our locations. So I'd really encourage you to browse through our individual program pages. There's a specific section where you can see sample internship placement, and I'll dive into that shortly, but they also outline which specific career sectors are located career sectors are located per location. I want to make a quick note as well. You'll see some asterisks on the Bogota and Buenos Aires locations. For any of our programs, you are not required to know any other language other than English. You are guaranteed an English-speaking supervisor, even if the language in that country, the primary language is not English. But you'll see the asterisk in Bogota and Buenos Aires because if you have some familiarity with Spanish language, it does open the door for further internship opportunities. So just more options to possibly select from or be available. But again, it's not a requirement to know any other language other than English for participation in our programs. So now, how to apply to the Global Internship Program? First things first, you want to make sure that we are conducting research for all of our programs. There could be one program that may be a better fit for you depending on your respective interest. And you can search by academic track or you can search by career sectors. In this case, for example, we're going to go ahead and select political science for our respective track. And then this would prompt you to see how many locations or which locations are available for your selected academic track or career sector. In this case, there are 8 locations where students can pursue the political science track. With that, each of our tabs have extensive information that includes more on academics and eligibility, a little bit more about what the course would entail. We also have, again, the sample internship Placement Handbook. Here, you're able to see the career sectors more in depth about what's available. So, for example, here in Bali, a little bit more about NGOs and nonprofits, what you could expect. Same thing with consultancies. And then here in this little blue button, View Sample Internship Placements, is where you're able to see previous roles that UCLA students have had in the past. You're able to view organizations, some companies, and I get a very brief description. What I want to highlight is this is not an exhaustive list of all companies or all possible roles that we have available. Items are constantly changing, networks are growing each year. So what this is meant to do is simply give you a good perspective of what type of organization, what type of roles you can expect in that location. Again, just good use for reference. We have a lot of great other information, including more about housing and meals, more about travel and on-site experience. Are there any excursions that are available? We have more information about cost and funding. So a great tool for each of our locations that we are considering for the Global Internship Program. So the next step, once you've conducted your research and you know which program would be the best fit for you for this coming summer, would be to submit your online application. So everything will be conducted online. The online application will take no longer than about 10 minutes. It's going to ask for biographical and logistical information, including a primary emergency contact, asking about financial aid, asking about passport. So very short and sweet. The most time-consuming aspect of your application will be submitting your statement of purpose and a resume. Your resume, you want to make sure it is up to date. The Career Center currently offers a VMOC tool, which is available on our program page for just to kind of make sure that it is up to date, has a good use of a language. And then we also have our statement of purpose. Our statement of purpose, they're very short responses. They do have character limits. And what this is meant to do is really just trying to get as much information from you as possible of why you're interested in interning abroad. Is there a particular organization that you hope to be working with? Not necessarily by name, but for example, I would like to work in an organization that focuses in sustainability law. So quite general, but this gives us a good sense of your interest. What do you hope to do with this internship long term? How is this going to foster your academic, your professional, even your personal growth? So what we want to get from the statement of purpose is, again, your interest of why you want to conduct an internship, why in this career sector, and why in this location. You will be asked in your statement of purpose to rank through 3 career sectors of interest, starting from your most preferred to your least preferred, or just any that you may have. And again, those career sectors you can find under your sample internship tab, and they're listed right over here. If after submitting your application, you meet the eligibility requirements and there's nothing that our team flags, then you will be invited to complete an application interview. These will be 30 minutes, they will be over Zoom, and they will be conducted with our on-site partners. So let's say, for example, you submitted your application for Bali in Indonesia, then your interview will be with our folks in Bali, Indonesia. They are the folks that have the network. They are the ones that will be sending your resume to respective organizations and companies to secure your respective internship. So this is a really great time for them to get to know you. This is a time where you expand on your statement of purpose, expand on your interest in interning in that location. And it's also a great time for you to get to know the organization. Ask a little bit more about possible placements, possible companies, possible just life in that respective location. So again, really great time for you to get to know them and then to get to know you. These will be conducted on a rolling basis. So once you submit your applications within 5 to 7 business days, you can expect to receive an application interview invitation if you meet the eligibility requirements. These must be conducted by the end of this year, so by December 31st, in order for decisions to be released in January. And the attire for these Zoom interviews would be business casual. So now, selection and placement process. We have a very short video that's going to walk us through what you to expect from enrolling into the program, as well as when you can expect to receive a respective internship. And I'll go ahead and sit back and relax for a little bit over a minute. Well, folks, I'm having some technical difficulties, it seems like. Well, I apologize. The video, it wanted me to speak a little bit more. The video in of itself is available on each of our program pages if you want to take some time to check that out after. It's very short, it's sweet, it takes about a minute or so. But what I really want to highlight from this video is that you students will be or placed on a respective internship based on your career goals, something that you mentioned with us in your application. The way the timeline would work is in January, students receive their application decisions. And in February, a student must finally commit to the program by either paying the full program fee, submitting financial aid documents, or ultimately withdrawing from the program. Once we have our final list of participants in February, in March, that could extend up until June, students will have ongoing interviews with respective organizations and companies to secure their internship. So these interviews, they will be organized on your behalf. So they will be, you will be contacted by our respective on-site folks team, and they will pass along information about a company, about the description about the organization. And then this is where you decide saying, yes, I want to move forward and schedule an interview with this organization, or I prefer to move in a different direction. So main thing I want to highlight is if you are accepted into the program, you are guaranteed an internship. But that internship placement process will not happen or will not begin up until after commitment has been made in February and can extend up until June. So just something I want to highlight. If you have some time, definitely check out that video. Again, short and sweet, and it goes a little bit about the process of what you can expect. Our applications are currently open and they do close November 24th. So it's a relatively quick turnaround. What I want to highlight is that these program applications are not first come, first serve. We will take equal consideration if you submit your application today or if you submit your application on November 24th. However, although it's not first come, first serve, we do highly encourage to submit their students to submit their application sooner than later, and that's only because of the application interview. I'll be completely honest and say, let's say we have 95% of applicants submitting on November 24th. Then what this means is that there'll be 95% of students trying to allocate an application interview time slot, which can conflict with perhaps your last week of classes, can conflict with your finals, with your studying, maybe even your vacation time. Again, these interviews would happen up until December 31st. So in order to just avoid any conflicts, focus on your studying, focus on your vacation, you want to submit your application sooner than later. But again, not first come, first serve. Now, program funding options. As I mentioned earlier, within the application, you can see the total cost of the program, and they are separated from billable options and non-billable options. And we do understand that since summer sessions is not an essential term, participating in a program like this can be an additional expense for some. I'll be honest and say when I studied abroad, it definitely was an additional expense. So want to make sure that we do provide you resources to help fund the program. So first and foremost, that does include financial aid. If you are eligible for financial aid, it does travel with you. And your financial aid will cover the total cost of the program, up to the total cost of the program. That includes your airfare, that includes meals, that includes transportation costs. How much you accept in your aid determines how much you would pay out of pocket. So similar terms as you would here at UCLA. Your financial aid package will consist of scholarship, grants, and loans. And typically, students can expect to receive their EFAN towards May. So something I do want to very strongly highlight if you do plan to use financial aid is that there are grants that are available during the academic year that are not available during the summer. For this reason, financial aid during the summer tends to be very loan heavy. So just something to do keep in mind. You will receive a financial aid package that cover up to the total cost of the program, but it would be primarily consist of loans, and how much you accept of that aid determines how much you pay out of pocket. If you intend to use financial aid, you will need to submit FAFSA for the next academic school year and complete some additional forms on the Global Internship Program portal. And we will walk you through those steps as well once you submit your application. As a brief reminder, you must be enrolled in a total of 8 units to qualify for UCLA financial aid. Lastly, what I want to highlight are scholarships. Scholarships are free money that you do not need to return. So it's a really great way to help chip away at the cost of the program. If you apply to the Global Internship Program, you would qualify for the IEO Global Internship Program Scholarship. So the students can earn up to $3,000 to help chip away at the cost. We have different scholarships that vary by location, by income status, by identity status, by merit status. We have external scholarships. For example, if you are a Pell Grant recipient, highly encourage you to consider applying to the Gilman, which you can earn up to $5,000. So a lot of great opportunities out there. Applications are not open just yet. They will start opening in December and can extend into January. So you want to make sure you scan the QR code that's on the screen and make sure you note down any important deadlines for scholarships that are approaching. And again, we'll keep reminding students to, if you do submit your application for financial aid and scholarships as well. So with that said, today's session really focused on political science as an academic track. Starting next week, we will have location-specific info sessions. So let's say, for example, you're interested in going to Bali, you want to know a little bit more about interning in Bali or living in Bali, similarly with Prague or Berlin. We will have folks from that location. So the folks that you will be conducting your application interview with will be at these info sessions. So it's a great way to learn a little bit more about housing, a little bit more about possible internship placements, and they are 30 minutes as well, so short and sweet. If you have an RSVP, definitely go ahead and scan the QR code we have on screen. Again, we may also have folks, student ambassadors from summer 2025 to share about their experience. So really great way to learn a little bit more about individual locations. What I also want to highlight, I'm always available as an advisor to speak a little bit more about political science tract or our locations, but I do think it would be a benefit to speak with the GIP ambassador. They are returnees who participated this past summer. You can search by academic track, for example, political science, or you can search by location, for example, Cape Town. And they're a great resource to know a little bit more about the application process, maybe about the interview, maybe about interning, time management, maybe was this program worth it for their academic goals, for example. So really great resource for you to connect with students, learn about their experience, and see if this program is the right fit for you. So again, scan the QR code that we have on screen and connect with a GAP ambassador. So with that, that culminates our presentation. Again, my name is Ana Arellano, and I'm the coordinator and the advisor for our political science track for the Global Internship Program. My email is on screen. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but we will allocate these last 10 minutes for any questions that you may have. Please feel free to enter them into the chat, or you're welcome to raise your hand and, and go ahead and unmute. So I'm going to stop the recording.